My team and I have talked to nearly 28,000 people that are thinking about making a move just in the last handful of years. Now, we have had a lot of takeaways from that, but one of the biggest ones, honestly, has been the idea that we call window shopping for home buyers. Now, a lot of people buying their home, they're going to start with a home search online and they're going to adjust it over time. But this exact strategy is how we coach all of our clients to do this, and it makes their life a heck of a lot easier. So if you're thinking about buying a home, you should be able to implement this right away. So let me dive into sharing my screen here, and I'm going to dive in explaining what I call, or what our team calls, window shopping. All right, so if we're talking about window shopping, what exactly do I mean by that? All right, so window shopping is relatively straightforward, and if this sounds overly simple, it's because it is. So there's really a few different things that go into window shopping. The first one, I'm going to skip for now, I'm going to go down to the second one, is what we call a really wide net, right? Now, the reason here is we are not looking to find the perfect home right away. We're just looking to narrow our search down. So we want to start with a really wide net, and then we're going to eliminate the things you do not like. I'm just going to say eliminate. So we start by casting a really wide net, and then we eliminate the things that you do not like. So what this actually looks like is if you were looking to buy in, I don't know, let's just say California, right? So if we're like, this is your Orange County, OC, right? And maybe you really want to move to Irvine. You're going to get my point here, right? You've got like Newport's over here, Anaheim, right? You get the point. Wherever you're looking, most people, this is what we found, that want to move to Irvine will only look right here. Now, what we mean by cast a really wide net is you want to literally cast a wide net. You want to go way wider on your actual home search than you were. And if you're like, Christian, I know I want to move to Irvine, that's fine. It's totally fine. If you're 100% convinced you've already narrowed your search down, I still implore you to do this. So you start a bigger search. So for example, if you are looking to move to Irvine, you will probably also want to look in Tustin. And I'll just share a few reasons. You might also want to look at Lake Forest. You might also want to look at Mission Viejo, right? And we can go on and on and on. The cities don't matter. The point is you want to start with a larger search radius than you think you actually do, especially if you're in the research phase. So if you are in research phase, this is even more important. Now I'm going to go and answer your number one here, which is to find your comfort zone. Oops. You're saying, Christian, what does that mean? Let me explain this. So let me add a page here, and I'm going to talk about the comfort zone. So unless you're paying cash, which you might be, but if you're not, like most people, you are looking at two different things. So you have affordability is really it. When we start talking to most people, and I'm going to tie these two things in together real quick. So when we start talking to most people who are earlier in their house hunt, they're trying to figure out what they're doing, they have a number in mind, and you might have this as well. You might be looking at, 500K, or you might say, well, I think 750, or maybe you're thinking, I think 3 million is my budget. Whatever you're thinking isn't the actual number. So we always ask, where did that number come from? And we're going to hear a few different things. We're going to say, one, I don't know. This is, believe it or not, the most common. Number two is I looked at a mortgage calculator. Or number three is I talked to a lender last year. And this here is the scariest one. This is questionable. This is not surprising at all. So what I would suggest to do here is go to a mortgage calculator. Now, if you did this yourself, I am going to walk you through it on this page. So if you did mortgage calculator yourself, highly recommend go to onyxhomes.com/finance. There's a video there. Watch that video so you can better understand how to use it. But either way, when I break down affordability, let me go to a different color here. There's two factors. There's payment and there's down payment. If you're thinking, Christian, this sounds overly simple. It is. It is. So if you say, Christian, I'm comfortable with $5,000 a month and I have $100,000 down. I don't know. I'm just using round numbers. Here's my if we were on the phone, right? And if you're saying, Christian, I don't want to talk to a human, that's why I'm watching videos, that's fine. Here's what I would say to you. And if you say, I would say, hey, do you mind if I ask you some personal questions? And you'd be scared. And then I'd say, what's your comfort zone for payment? What's your comfort zone for the total down payment? And you would say $5,000, because that's what we do, is we just say a round number. And I say, okay, well, if you found the perfect house, would you be okay increasing that at all? And literally, this is why we ask the question, 75% of the time, most people are like, well, yeah, I'd go to like 6,000 or 7,000 if I found the perfect house. And it's like, come on, that's a huge budget. And I might be exaggerating, but not really, to be honest. It's at least, most people will say like at least $500 to $1,000. And in the reality, this difference here is like $100,000 on price, at least, right? So just by you not actually saying the right number is really affecting your home search. Same thing on the down payment is like, if you found the perfect house, would you increase that at all? Like, would we increase this to 125 if it were perfect? And the reason that I say this is let me just be clear. Yes, I'm a salesperson, and us as real estate agents, we're salespeople. However, our job, we're not selling anything. We're selling our services, I guess. And yes, we're compensated off the purchase price, which is where there's a few, I don't know, misconceptions. Not really misconceptions. It's just the reality of it is most people think that, oh, the agent just wants you to spend the most money possible. No, not at all. We have found that by casting a wider net here and having a real conversation about what affordability means to you earlier makes your home search easier. Let me give you a quick story. So when I was buying my first home, I was 24 years old. My mom told me, do not buy anything. The prices are the highest they've ever been. It's the worst time to buy. The prices are too high. And this was, I am 31 now, so you can do whatever math that was. 6-7 years ago. So if I would have waited, I'd still be waiting for prices to come down. And prices have gone up, I don't know, 40% by then, like a lot. So this is my story, is I was looking in like the 4 to 450, 450 range, right? This is the price point that I was looking in when I was buying my first home. And I looked here for 8 months. And I just wasn't really finding anything that I liked. So what happened, I ended up over time expanding my search from just San Juan to Ladera to Mission Viejo. Anyway, what I ended up finding was I found that I actually liked Ladera. This is my real story. This is what I ended up doing. And after 8 months of not finding what I liked, right? This was month number 1. This is month 3. This is month 6. This is month 8. And what ended up happening on month number 9, on the 9-month mark, what did I end up do? Well, I bumped my budget to $5 to $550. I raised my budget $100,000, and I ended up finding the home 2 weeks later. Now, knowing what I know now, this was fine, right? This was a home experience. But frankly, I was getting very frustrated. The farther this got out, I was getting more and more frustrated. I was working a ton, so I didn't have a ton of free time, and I probably should have clarified. I was not a real estate agent at this time. But now knowing what I know, we go backwards with our clients. We go here because it's much easier to eliminate and narrow things down, okay? So I'm going to tie this all together here real quick. Because the first thing is you want to figure out what your comfort zone is. So I want you to be very real in explaining what is your comfort zone for your total monthly and your total cash out of pocket for down payment. Because if you do have, and this is what I did, I had an extra, I don't know, $500-700 a month that I was willing to pay. I just didn't want to tell my agent that. And I don't know if he asked or not, but like that was the reality. This is what most people do, is they don't say the real number. That cost me a lot of money for 2 major reasons. One, in the 9 months that I was searching, prices went up. In the 9 months that I was searching, interest rates went up. And in the last month, so the last 30 days, rates went up 1 full percent, which cost me about $600 per month for the first year. So literally just waiting cost me $7,200 because I didn't search correctly, right? So this is why we advise all of our clients to start out and come in, both on location and as far as affordability goes. If this is your real number, here's what often happens. People do just what I did. They'll be searching really, really hard in this really small circle for 8 months. And then you're going to be like, you know what? My lease is up. I have to get into escrow. You're going to be like, let's just go look at Tustin. Let's just go look $50,000 more. And then you immediately find what you want. However, you have no context on that market because all of your context is in this tiny little pocket, not on the bigger picture, okay? So that's why we want to get real with the comfort zone. The reason we cast with the wide net is really more so that you actually know the market that you're looking at. So it's not because I want you to buy in Tustin, it's that I want you to know what's going on in those areas. I don't want you to go into a new market, fall in love with something, and know nothing about any of those other homes. That's the main reason why we want to do this. So if we talk with number 1 is your comfort zone. Number 2 is you cast the wide net. Number 3 is eliminate. Okay, so this is where it's cool. Now, when we're talking about eliminating, you cast a wide net, you already think that you want to move in this really small area. However, we're going to change that a little bit. Now, what you're doing is you're eliminating so that you can narrow the search over time. Now, what you're going to do is there's a couple different tactics here. Go look at ugly houses. What I mean by this is go look in the areas that you don't think you want to be in. Go look at the ugly houses that look terrible online because the pictures are bad. Go look at the place that you don't love online, because online does not equal in person. I promise you, when we list a home, it looks way better online than it looks in person. And if it's a great looking house, it's going to look fantastic online. If the house sucks, it's going to look great online, or at least good. So you want to make sure that you go and look at ugly houses. Now that's when we list something. There's a lot of agents out there that get hired somehow that are taking pictures with their iPhone 2 and their thumbs in it, and they're standing in the mirror. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And they take 6 pictures. And you might not go look at that house because they're bad at marketing, but that doesn't mean the house sucks. A very real example is the last 2 homes that I've moved into. My wife did not want to go look at the houses in person because the pictures were ugly. And knowing what I know, talking literally about this, doing exactly this with our home search, we went and looked at ugly houses, both of them. We walk in within 30 seconds, she's sold. And she didn't even want to go look at them. Literally, I was like, we're going because I know what I'm doing here. So this is where you start to eliminate things over time. So number 1, you're going to go look at ugly houses. Number 2 is you're not looking to find the perfect home. We are narrowing. Okay. So you're going to have your list of, most people say like, oh, I got to have my list of must-haves. No. I want your list of hates. Let me give an example. So you might say, I hate road noise. Right? You might say, I hate stairs. You might say, I hate city. Maybe it's Tustin, right? We're using this example. But you're going to be eliminating these things from your search. So what's happening is you're taking that very wide net and you are going to go in to find your ideal area and your ideal homes. And what happens is when you see a home you think you like, but it has stairs, you already know that you don't like that house. Even if it's in the perfect area, even if the colors, even if the everything else, if it has a thing that you hate, that you're not buying a house if it has this, then you can just eliminate that from your search altogether. And you get context of the way bigger market. Now, this is both in location and price, right? So you don't want to start with a really narrow price point. I'd rather you find the comfort zone and really, really stretch it out and then narrow it in. Most of the time, people don't choose to max out their budget. Most of the time. Some people do, and that's it's totally up to you. This is the process that I help all of our clients follow. This is what from a real estate team, this is just our belief on making your life easier. And a lot of the times we'll talk to a consumer, and we're very rarely, very, very rarely the first agent somebody's talked to. Most people find our company because they Google best real estate agents near me, buying homes in Orange County, all about Orange County, watching a video like this, or they go to a website like Zillow and they say, let's find the best agents, and they see us because we sell hundreds of homes, have 5-star, all the things, right? And we jump in and we're like, gosh, you've been looking for 8 months. We've just been doing it wrong. Let's look from the outside in. Let's give you more context. Let's get you educated. We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel confident with the entire home buying process. That's really our goal at the end of the day. And this is how we save our clients tons of money, and we keep you protected through the entire process. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about what it looks like to work together, I've got 2 things. Number 1, this next video is what I call the buyer strategy session. I highly recommend going through and watching this 55-minute video. If you don't have time right now, save it for later. This is going to be the next video that pops up. But if you just want to learn about how we save our clients tons of money while keeping them protected through the entire process, you can just go to allaboutoc.com. You're going to get to a page. You can just drop your information right here. And in that page, you're going to get a full 126-page guide that shares our 7 saving strategies. And if you want to talk with one of our local experts, one of our agents, about how we save our clients tons and tons of money, then you can book a call. But if you don't want to do that, you can just watch this video that is going to pop up here next. But if you really want to take your next home purchase serious and get a little bit more information, just go to All About OC. Even if you're not looking at OC, we work all over Southern California. That was just an easy domain to write down and remember. So anyway, go to allaboutoc.com, book a call with our team, and watch this video if you want the entire breakdown of how we save our clients a lot of money and how we keep them protected. So I hope this was helpful. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.